This is Bill Sang, the author of the Giganotus Rex series. You can find links to purchase the Giganotus Rex books at williamhsang.com, and Sang is S-E-N-G. Or you can go to amazon.com. You can find books there. Also, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to this podcast. Enjoy the show. We are talking about what is probably the darkest of the Giganotus Rex monsters. I don't know, maybe Hades is the darkest, but I think this one might actually be the darkest of the Giganotus Rex villains. And we are talking today about the giant plant monster known as Eden, which makes it almost sound like that it should be a good guy, but there's a reason why I chose the name Eden. We will get to that here shortly. This is the Giganotus Rex Podcast. My name is Bill Sang. I'm here with my son, Jaden.
Hello.
And my son, Carter.
Hey.
And as I said, we are going to be talking about Eden, which is, like I said, probably Giganotus Rex's most dark villain in terms of just, it's a scary monster in the respect that it is sinister on the highest level. It's able to team up with people. And it is a global threat from the time that it is unleashed, born, what have you. So first of all, I'd like to start off. I already said that Eden is a plant monster, but I'm going to have Jaden give us a brief description of what Eden looks like.
So, Eden looks like a giant plant woman with like a dress that looks like pineapple leaves. And around the top of its head, it has like what look like eyes, but are actually orbs that go around its head. And the top of its head looks like a giant like old-fashioned woman's hat, but it's clear and it's flower petals.
Yeah, very good description. I would say that that's the general idea of it. Jaden, one thing you did not mention is that Eden does not have arms, of course, and so it's not a flower woman in the respect that, or plant woman in the respect that it has all the same anatomy as a human being, but rather lacks arms. But the general shape is very much like a woman, and that was very much what I was going for too, because part of what Eden represents is feminism. Feminism, the green movement. And because that the general color of Eden is supposed to be green with some detail colors, lots of orange and colors, bright colors like that, orange and red, things that make it stand out that are kind of hotter, warmer colors. But Eden, yes, is supposed to be really big too. I can't remember exactly how tall I said. I want to say I made
3,
Eden. Is it 3,000 or 5,000?
It was 3,000.
3,000. I made Eden absolutely enormous, even though Eden starts off small in the book, but grows to be gigantic, bigger than any of the other monsters and bigger than any of the buildings surrounding her. So just absolutely colossal. And then the next thing I want to talk about would be the powers of Eden, which I had to think about it. At first, I thought that, well, I don't know, Eden doesn't have that many powers. When I got thinking about it, it's like, oh my goodness, Eden actually does have quite a few powers that she possesses that are actually very, very dangerous. Carter, would you like to describe Eden's powers and attacks and all of that for me?
So it's able to create other monsters. It has like vines and snapdragons to attack other monsters that to attack its opponent. It's able to create a jungle like out of things it attacks or whatever it wants to.
Yeah, and I'll interrupt right there real fast. Eden in general was originally supposed to be sort of my version of Biollante, except for I didn't want to make it too much like Biollante. And one of the things I was kind of disappointed about with Biollante, even though I love Biollante in the Godzilla movies and Godzilla vs. Biollante, is that I thought that Biollante should have had the ability to overtake an entire city with her ability to grow plants and things. Because Biollante actually doesn't grow plants. It just has these snapdragon arms, more or less. But Eden has the power to grow and to expand and is actually a global threat in that respect, because essentially Eden has the ability to terraform the entire planet to her liking. Go ahead, Carter. Keep on going with the abilities.
It can mind meddle things.
Mind meld, yes. And that's kind of a complicated sort of a power that she has. And what Carter means by mind meld is she takes upon a human host that she works with and collaborates with. And she melds with a person named Dr. Malthus. And more or less, Dr. Malthus helps Eden to design monsters to grow and to unleash against humanity. And also, there is and Carter will get to this in a minute, but he also helps to maintain this sort of matrix sort of system that Eden has created. So, Carter, keep on going.
It's able to feed on people.
Pause right there again. So, Eden feeds on people. Now, this might not be in the way that you're thinking right now. Like if you've seen Little Shop of Horrors, you know that Audrey too eats people like it's a giant snapdragon and just eats them all up, right? Don't think that. What Eden does is Eden absorbs people into her body and she keeps them alive, actually. She uses the nutrition from her body to nourish them, but then she kind of uses it as a cycle and she feeds off of them as well. Keep going, Carter.
And also, he has her dream world. And then stuff like it's able to make people think that it's really happening, but it's actually just in their dreams. And yeah.
So this is one of Eden's more unique powers, Eden's dream world. And what she uses that for is when she absorbs a human host, she does not kill them, but instead she basically grants them immortality so long as they stay plugged into her system. And in order to make them compliant, she keeps them asleep and then she also puts into their mind a whole different world that they can live inside of, where she makes up essentially the perfect community for them to live in for forever, more or less, because she is never going to let them die. She's never going to let them leave. And I almost forgot, one of the ways that she is able to induct new people into her system is that she has fruit that she produces as well that the human beings can eat. And essentially, the rulers have started giving this food to the people because they feel like they don't need the villagers, the Orwellians, to continue to make food for them because they have developed Eden to produce food for them. And now they are able to produce their own food and govern more with more control because now they govern the food source as well. So they feed the people the fruit of Eden, but by doing that, they make them susceptible to be absorbed by Eden so that Eden can rule over them. Now, this power is linked to another monstrous power, which I actually forgot to mention in the last podcast we did on a monster profile, and that being Ophion. Ophion is basically the reason why Eden's even around. And Eden appears and first makes her appearance in Giganotus Rex, Orphans of Eden, and appears alongside Ophion. Ophion actually stole a twig from the tree of life in the Garden of Eden and kept it nourished and alive until it was able to grow. Now, Ophion, in contrast to Eden, where Eden keeps things alive for all eternity in a perpetual state of bliss, that what Ophion does is Ophion, when he eats things, keeps them not alive, but more or less in a perpetual state of death, never fully killing them, but tormenting them for as long as they dwell inside of his body. Carter, let's do this. So we already mentioned that Eden is able to create new monsters. And essentially, that is another form of fruit that she produces. Carter, what monsters does she produce that appear in the book Orphans of Eden? How many monsters does Eden produce?
3.
And what are the names of those monsters?
Trulcasa, the drone, and Rex.
Okay, now tell me just a teeny tiny bit, not much, just tell me generally what those monsters are.
The drone's pretty much a giant insect, like a mix between a couple insects, and Trulcasa's basically like a giant troll, and Rex is like a giant combination of all the monsters in the book.
Yeah, so she's able to produce some pretty interesting monsters, and the way that she does this is that she harvests the DNA from the different monsters that she encounters and different creatures that she encounters, and through working with Dr. Malthus, they're able to construct monsters to unleash upon the world. Jaden, Eden is a very unique monster in many respects. Where does Eden? I made mention of it a little bit, but can you tell me a little bit about how Eden came about inside of the book Giganotus Rex Orphans of Eden? And I know you can draw from book number 5 as well, because book 5 mentions more about her. Tell us a little bit about where Eden came from.
So Ophion, like when he was fighting G-Rex and Han
Where?
in the Garden of Eden, and they're fighting the Garden of Eden, and Ophion was beat, but he stole a twig from the Tree of Life, and he took care of it, but yeah, he corrupted Eden, and it kept growing, and then eventually, and then there were soldiers that were like in this like tunnel with it. I'm sorry.
Let me help out. That's okay.
Yeah.
That's all right. It's complicated. So you said the first part, and that's good enough.
I remember that Ophion came out of somewhere.
So Eden's history is very complicated because Eden was, like Jaden said, was found in that was from the Tree of Life in the Garden of Eden. Ophion had taken a twig from the Tree of Life and had kind of kept it with him throughout history until finally what happened is that America actually discovered Eden and Ophion in an archaeological dig and discovered the potential powers to grant eternal life from Eden. And that actually caused a global war is what happened. And so lots of the technology that exists throughout my books in terms of the destructive super weapons they have come from that war that America had with the rest of the world over Eden herself. And then what ended up happening is that most of the world was destroyed. The city actually where Midland is supposed to be Pittsburgh, by the way. It's the ancient remains of Pittsburgh. And as these soldiers are going throughout the remains of Pittsburgh, they find an underground tunnel and they stumble across an underground laboratory where Eden is and Ophion is, as well as Eden is still taking care of Eden to that time. And that's where our book picks up. So Ophion's still taking care of Eden. And then ultimately what ends up happening is that Eden grows and grows and grows until one day just booms, explodes into an enormous monster with very, very dangerous capabilities. And I actually forgot about one more power that is vital for the story of the book, and that is that Eden is able to put the people to sleep who ate from her fruit. So in that respect, the villagers are immune to her power to put them to sleep and absorb them into her system, but everybody else that has been feeding on the fruit produced by Eden is susceptible to her sleep spell and can be inserted into her system and put into that dream world. One of the things you'll notice is that the name of the book is that she appears in is called Orphans of Eden. And this book, like I said, it's a little bit darker. So you notice that she appears in the book Orphans of Eden. And inside this book, a little bit darker, and it is kind of my book that is my statement against abortion in a creative sort of way, I would say. And what has happened is that she actually inducts children into her. This is what happens, is that people give over their children so that Eden can live, because they want to gain eternal life from Eden, but they know that that can't happen until she is full grown. And so what they do is they hand their children over to her in order for the plant to grow, in order for them to obtain eternal life. So like I said, kind of a dark plot, but it has a good ending, though, where, of course, we have our hero, Giganotus Rex, that comes up against Eden and ultimately liberates the orphans of Eden. It's kind of a spoiler there, because I don't even think I get too dark with it, but Giganotus Rex eventually liberates the orphans of Eden from Eden. From Eden. But there are some lasting consequences from this battle nonetheless. So in general, as a sum, that Eden is a fairly simple monster, is not a very animated monster. Its main defenses for itself are, one, its own snapdragons, thorns, vines, and all that are alive that it can attack with, and also the monsters that she gives birth to as well. And and the global threat that she poses is the fact that she does not stop growing. That is, as she absorbs more, she continues to grow and grow and grow. And the ultimate goal is world domination, to terraform the entire planet for her and Dr. Malthus's liking. So that is Eden, and a truly terrifying monster. Thank you all for joining us for this episode of the Giganotus Rex Podcast. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And make sure you check out Patreon, by the way. Patreon is where the stories are going to be released. There's one free book available, and that is The Wrath of Giganotus Rex. And I'd like to thank my guests for being on the show today. So, Carter, would you like to say bye?
Bye.
And Jay, would you like to tell everybody goodbye?
Goodbye.
Thank you guys for joining me today. I appreciate you giving your input on this very interesting monster. Thank you for joining us for the Giganotus Rex Podcast. We will see you next time.